I compiled everything you need to know to master small talk. And in this video, I'll be teaching you everything, like how to completely overcome social anxiety, techniques to use to keep conversations going, and at the end of the video, a special cognitive strategy that completely changed the game for me. By watching this video, you'll be setting yourself up for success. And we'll start with the Ford Framework. The Ford Framework is a powerful acronym for keeping conversations going. No, not that Ford. This Ford. It stands for family, occupation, recreation, and dreams, 4 broad categories that nearly everyone has something to say about. When a conversation stalls, ask a question from one of these areas. For example, you could ask how their day at school or work was, or ask what they did for fun. When they respond to your question, ask them another follow-up question about what they told you, like, what made that happen? Or, how did you find out about that? And make sure that those questions are open-ended. That way the person is encouraged to tell you more than just a yes or no. If you keep the Ford Framework in mind whenever you're talking to someone, I promise your small talk ability will skyrocket. The next thing you should understand is the power of active listening. Active listening is one of the most underrated yet essential skills for building meaningful conversations. When you practice active listening, you're fully present and engaged in what the other person is saying rather than thinking about something else. Use body language like nodding, maintaining eye contact, and leaning in slightly to show that you're truly paying attention. Verbal cues such as, "that makes sense," or "wow, really," can help encourage the speaker to continue. Reflecting or paraphrasing their words shows that you're not only listening, but also absorbing their message. It also gives them a chance to clarify or expand on what they're saying. Conversations can feel shallow without real attention, but active listening can make small talk feel like true connection. Now that you understand active listening, let's take a look at social anxiety, and later in this video, even a special cognitive strategy. When it comes to overcoming social anxiety, one of the most effective things you can do is challenge yourself to speak to someone new every single day. Ideally, this should be someone you don't already know. At first, this might feel uncomfortable or even scary, especially if you're used to avoiding unnecessary interactions. But over time, this small daily habit can make a huge difference. You don't have to say a lot. Just a simple "hi," a compliment, or a friendly comment is enough to see the benefits. These tiny interactions help you become more comfortable talking to people and help anytime you're in a social situation. Each positive encounter chips away at your anxiety. With consistency, your confidence builds and your anxiety fades. Over time, you'll notice it becomes much easier to speak up, even in situations that once felt overwhelming, and your ability to hold conversations will grow drastically. Another thing you should understand is the importance of trying to connect with people, rather than trying to impress them. You might feel pressure to say something smart, witty, or unique in order to stand out or be liked. But here's the truth. Meaningful connection is far more important than impressing anyone. Not everyone you talk to will like you, and that's completely normal. Your goal in a conversation isn't to win people over or be the most interesting person in the room. It's simply to find genuine connection with those talking to you. When you release the pressure to perform or be perfect, you naturally become more relaxed, authentic, and present. That's when real conversations happen, when you're just being yourself without trying to prove anything. If someone seems uninterested, don't take it personally. Continue talking to others and find the people who enjoy talking to you for who you are. The less you try to impress, the more magnetic you become. So next time you're getting to know someone, do your best to connect with them instead of trying to impress them. The next thing you should learn is how to challenge anxious thoughts. Anxiety often distorts reality and makes simple interactions feel like huge obstacles. But most of the time, your anxious thoughts are based on irrational fears, not facts. To challenge them, ask yourself, what's the worst that could realistically happen? Or, has this ever actually gone as badly as I'm imagining? When you take a step back and look at the situation objectively, you'll usually find that your anxiety is exaggerating things. A great way to calm your body during these moments is to use controlled breathing techniques, like the 4-8-8 method. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 8, and exhale for 8. Then repeat that 4 times. This helps slow your heart rate and triggers a relaxation response in your nervous system. Another way to challenge anxious thoughts is to imagine the situation going well. Imagine what you would say that would result in the conversation flowing smoothly. This prepares your brain for success because it forces you to think of what the good side would look like. Remind yourself, I've handled conversations before, I can handle this one too. By confronting anxiety with logic, breathing, and visualization, you weaken its control over you, and your social skills will improve. Now let's look at the special cognitive strategy that completely changed the game for me. Cognitive diffusion is a mental technique that helps you create space between yourself and your thoughts, especially anxious or negative ones. Instead of getting tangled up in what your brain is saying, you step back and observe the thoughts like clouds drifting by. A powerful way to do this is by giving your anxious inner voice a name. Let's say you call it Jimmy. When that voice says things like, "You're going to embarrass yourself," you can say, "Oh, that's just Jimmy being dramatic again." This gives you power over the thought instead of letting it control your emotions or behavior. It shows your brain that the thought is just that, a thought, not a fact.